See over the last week, Juan Gaston. What were your first impressions when you saw him for the first time?
I mean, first impression, that's a big guy. That's a big man. Probably one of the biggest I've seen coming to Georgia. But he's a hard worker. Always got a smile on his face, and he's coachable. Man. That's all you can ask for.
What's it been like working with Ernest Green so far this spring? I mean, just that tackle position, obviously there's a lot of stuff, up in the air as far as offensive line goes, but working with him, what's it been like?
I mean, we got really close over this last year, and really it's a great relationship. We're always coaching each other how we can get better. We're not really patting, even though there's competition there. I think we both know that we want to both get better, and we're really we're competing.
Yeah, Monroe, what areas of your game are you looking to grow and develop this spring?
I think it's just consistency and balance. I ended that last game, and you really want to get it back, but you just gotta work. And I think I'm not giving any excuses for myself. Even with my shoulder injury, I'm not, and I'm just going back to the drawing board, working on my balance, footwork, everything, all the fundamentals.
Right. You talk about Juan Gaston, how big he is. I mean, John Jackson's out there as well, and he actually does stand out among you guys in a big way. What's it been like watching him go from kind of basketball guy to playing a full year of football, and now he's entering kind of the first spring? How much has he grown?
I think it's really starting to click for him. When you go from playing basketball, which isn't necessarily a contact sport, it takes a while to get adjusted to that football mentality. But now I think he's really starting to put things together and really break his stride.
You got 4 guys going off to the NFL, so you're losing 4 starters, but they're 4 NFL starters. You'd think that the offensive line would have been the absolute strength of last year's team. Why wasn't it?
I think it really just came back on us and our execution. I think that sometimes we were, more worried about not failing than succeeding, and and I think we thought we were more just senior heavy, so I think we thought we were there, but I really think that we should have focused more on our fundamentals.
Yeah, Monroe, you mentioned wanting that Sugar Bowl game back. I talked to you after the game. You're frustrated with how it went. How has the feeling of that game propelled all these offensive linemen over the past couple months and in the spring practice?
I think that we have a really young team now, and I think that everyone's more hungry because most people on this team haven't won a national championship, including myself. And I think that drive and that sour taste left in our mouth will bring us into the next season starting strong.
Talk about how sometimes maybe those seniors were more thinking like they were already there. Is there a hunger that you're seeing from this young group? And, I mean, what's kind of the vibe looking like as far as, we need to fix some of those mistakes that we had last year, talking about the way you guys are looking at things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the hunger, and that's one of the new things we're really putting in our program is the fire. What do you have in yourself that you want to really apply? What's your fire? What gets you going? Who loves the game? And I think that's what we're really applying to ourselves this year.
What are you able to do this spring after your injury? And when you talk about balance and footwork, how are you working to improve that? What do you do?
I recently just got cleared to start really moving around, so it's just footwork, and I think I've really stepped into a coaching role this spring because I'm not really allowed to have any contact, but a lot of these freshmen need to get developed, and we have a couple of coaches, but it's a lot better for these players to hear from the player's standpoint rather than the coaches sometimes.
Speaking of coaches, I know you guys try to block out all the noise. That's almost impossible to do with how we do this now. Got some coaches come under fire, Coach Bobo, Coach Searles. Do you guys hear any of that, and how do you respond to it?
It's a lot of it just comes down on ourselves because you can blame the coaches all they want, but at the end of the day, if the players don't succeed, you gotta look in the mirror. We're the ones that gotta listen to the coach, and I think it falls on us.
Talk about stepping into that coaching role a little bit this year. One of the things Kirby was talking about a minute ago is some of these younger guys kind of struggling to take some of his hard coaching. Is that something you've seen, and do you kind of play a role into being like, hey, it's just coaching?
Yeah, I think it's just different, especially in this NIL era. I think a lot of people want to be handed things, and I think nowadays it's hard. You need to find that fire, people that still love the game, and I tell them, I was a freshman too. I came in here And I got worked a couple of times, like it happens, but it's just how you respond to the, adversity that you get here at Georgia.
Time for maybe one more question. We good? All right, thank you.